Hi guys! It's time to learn about God's kingdom today. We are going to be discussing, will God's kingdom come to earth? Well, before we can answer that, we have to understand what God's kingdom actually is. God's kingdom is essentially a government that Jehovah has set up to rule the heavens and the earth. Right now, Jesus is governing it with the apostles, according to Luke chapter 22 verses 28 to 30, but he will eventually hand the reins over to his Father, as Paul described in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 27 to 28. The problem, though, is that even though it has de facto and de jure rule over the heavens, it only has de jure rule over the earth. De facto in this case means that a government has actual control over a certain territory, while de jure means that their laws say they have control over that territory. The person who has de facto rule over the earth is Satan, who of course never received de jure control of anything from God. As it was said in Matthew, "Again the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me." Matthew chapter 4 verses 8 to 9. It wouldn't be a very good temptation if Satan didn't actually have control of what he was offering. However, Satan and his demons were imprisoned, according to 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 19, and a clear message was sent. Their time was running out. Now, the liberation of the earth has begun, and the signs of this battle can be found in Matthew chapter 24 verses 6 to 12. Since the First World War, both sides are creating more and more earthquakes, famines, and disease, and their conflict is also the cause of the wars we see around the globe. They enter people's minds and change the way they think. Both God and Satan can do this, as shown by these verses. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way, and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might betray him unto them. Luke chapter 22 verses 3 to 4. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1. People like Abraham, Joseph, and Joshua were influenced by God, and people like Saul, Jeroboam, and Ahab were influenced by the devil. Now, it seems crazy that Jehovah, a benevolent and loving deity, according to verses like Psalms chapter 106 verse 1, could not only allow all this destruction to happen, but be one of the main causes of it. But we only need to look at history to see that peaceful protests can't solve all the world's problems. Millions died to stop the Nazis from killing Jews, disabled people, and everybody else they didn't like. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers died in the American Civil War to free African Americans from slavery. There is no way for God's kingdom to be established on earth without getting rid of Satan's regime by force. However, when God is de facto and de jure ruler of heaven and earth, we will finally see lasting peace. As it was said in the Psalms, "He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire." Psalms chapter 46 verse 9. For example, he will resolve disputes between people, according to Micah chapter 4 verses 3 to 4. More importantly, his word will live inside us so we won't have to work so hard to understand and serve him. As it was said in Jeremiah, "But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more." Jeremiah chapter 31 verses 33 to 34. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. Will God's kingdom come to earth? No, because it's already here, and God will soon take total control over the earth and its inhabitants. Thank you for listening! Don't forget to like and subscribe!